Morning, everybody. Happy Friday. Friday, the 19th of September. Hope everyone had a great week. Thanks for joining in tonight. Might be kind of a fast one tonight. Ooh, I'm going to turn my camera off, my other camera off for a second, because it is not facing the right way. We want it to face the right way. All right. Does that look right? That looks right. Hi, Pam. How are you? There, that looks better. Okay. Turn my volume off on my TV because I hear that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I do not have a bundle tonight because I am going to be using some of the subscription products. I got my stamps yesterday or the day before. I don't even remember what day I did, and I want to use them. So we're going to use the inspiration box for sure and see what else we decide to play with. Okay. Hi, Brandon. Hi, Jamie. Hope you guys are all having a good week. Had a good week. Ready for the weekend. It's a big weekend here in Gothenburg. It's German Fest. So the streets are all shut down, and tonight is homecoming for the high school. So I spent all day at the golf course, so you can kind of see I'm a little red in the face, maybe a little red on the shoulders. It was a long day. We had 120 golfers. So I'm going to switch my camera around right away. Let's get started. So I'm not going to okay, what's going on? I'm switching my camera back. Something's going on weird with my camera tonight. So let's shut this off. I'm going to shut it off. We're going to turn it back on and see if I can get it to work. Okay, you guys, it's being a little wonky. So we're just going to shut it off this way and see what's going on. Why won't, there we go. All right. So let's turn it back on and see if we can get it to go and be right. There we go. That looks better. Sorry about that. It's weird. All right, go back to the chat. Hi, Mama. All right, now it still switched it again. That's really weird. I wonder why it's doing that. We're going to fix it here. We don't want it portrait locked. We want it to go. I apologize for the technical difficulties. It's just being dumb. I've never had this happen before. Well, I will leave and come back. I stamped out 3 this morning quick because I figured I would have time tonight or today during my craft day. So in between the golfers, because I sat at a hole-in-one all day. Now I'm not sure what's going on with the camera. So hopefully we're not sideways today. We are still sideways. Video. Let's see here. I appreciate you waiting patiently for me to figure out what's going on. Video. I'm going to go to front camera. Let's go back to the back triple camera. And we're going to just leave it like that. We'll turn it on. Be good, be good, be good. We're good. Okay, no, it switched it off again. There we go. There we go. I don't know. Technology today is being dumb. All right, gremlins are going away. We got it. 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 Okay. So, good evening, Cherie. Okay. Let's get going while we got it going, okay? So I have the inspiration box. I'm not going to do a full unboxing. I did a unboxing video last night, and I will have that up tomorrow. But I did grab the stamp set, which is the Better with Ice Cream stamp set. I have them stamped out. Oh, and it switched again. Why? I don't know why it's doing that. Why are we sideways? Well, can I change my camera angle so that it's doing it right? I don't know what's going on, you guys. It's not me. It must be the iPhone or something. I'm sorry if you got sick to your stomach looking at all that. So we're going to just fix this. I don't know what's going on tonight. I had everything set up and ready to go. And now, of course, I'm so far away. All right. It's switching to another camera. So we'll just move it up here and I will do a quick mark and stay on camera. Okay, guys? But this is the Better with Ice Cream. I don't have my stamps on here because I already have them in my Misty. I already have them stamped out. You got Life is Better with Ice Cream, Sunday Fun Day. So I'm going to use one of these images tonight. I don't know if we're going to get 2 cards made or not, but let's quick see what's going on here. And it's just wonky. Well, hopefully I can, here, we're just going to mark it so I make sure I stay on camera for you guys, okay? All right, so in your box, let's see, I threw everything in here. We've got this fun paper pad, and I thought maybe we would use that tonight, along with, this is the cardstocks that come in it. I didn't have an update, Pam. That's the weird part. Not that one has come up, but I'll look at one afterwards and see what's going on. It's being kind of crazy. And it was charged all day and everything, so I don't know. These are the colors we're going to use tonight. I'm thinking I'm going to lean with this pink or the green because of the colors. So yeah, I'm really close. I don't know why that's doing that. And I don't think it's going to let me fix and change to a different camera, which is really, 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 really weird. Because usually I can switch cameras, like to my triple or my, or back or whatever, but it's choosing for me tonight. So here's the Sweet Treats paper pad. This comes in it. We'll make it work. You just have to yell at me if I get off camera. And we're just going to kind of go through. I'm thinking I'm just going to choose one of these pieces of paper. I'm kind of leaning towards, let's see here. Let's go and see what's on the other side. I'm thinking I'm leaning towards one of these patterns back here. I'm thinking about this one. I like the stripes on there because I don't want to detress too much from my cones. So we're going to use that. And then I think I'm going to use the mint card base. Yeah. And I don't want to, if I restart right now, then it will take forever for us to get going and the live will be over. So we'll just make it, we'll make it work. We'll just be sideways a little bit today. I do have the embossing powder of the month all ready for you guys to go. I know Christopher saves that for me to share because it's one of my favorite things. I have moved it to one of the old, because I still have some of these left that are empty. So this is what it looks like. Of course, you can see there's 2 different colors in there. So I kind of mix it up before I use it. There's another good shot of it. Look at how close I can get. Woo. So I have it. And this is what it looks like when it is heat set. It's kind of hard to see that. I mean, this one's darker because this is the black circle underneath. Here's the white circle underneath. So you get that fun kind of cherry color. It's a little bit, not really metallic-y, but that cherry color. I'm trying to get to the colors. And you got the white in there. And then I do have the other ones. Here is the sherbet. I just put stripes and ice cream trucks in your panel. There you go. We are thinking alike, Sandy. And this is the pistachio. Yeah, camera's very close tonight. And here is the strawberry sparkle. Let me see if you can see the sparkle. You can kind of see that. So those are the other ones that you can get. So I did show you those. That download is free on our website. Let's start with this. Let's get it cut apart. I'm going to go ahead and cut this down in half. This is the part that might be off camera a little bit, but I'm just cutting it in half because I'm so zoomed in. And then 4 1/4. Actually, I like to go to 4. I'm going to go to 4, and then I'm going to cut off a half a 1/4 of an inch at the bottom because I like to have a little bit white border on my card. And I have one of my card bases here, so I'm just going to grab that so we have that for reference. So we're going to have that as our base here. And we'll probably get more than one card done because this first card I think is going to be fairly quick. I'm going to go ahead and use the stripes. And I think we're just going to kind of make a nice big panel to go down the middle. I'm just going to eyeball it. I don't worry too much about measurements unless I'm making like a fun fold direction, or if I'm following along and someone tells me. So I think we're going to do 2.5 inches. And then of course we need it to be 5 1/4. And sometimes we think way too hard, I think, when we try to put our cards together. And so we've got this. I mean, this is a fun, actually, we might turn this sideways. I might do the landscape card on this one. And then I think for some fun, so I have, my image is 90% colored. I did not finish coloring it. There is that, but I'm going to finish. We're going to do a little bit of coloring on camera because I want to color in a little bit of this. I didn't know what color to color my umbrella. And then I feel like we need a little bit something in here. So this is supposed to represent a strawberry sauce. We got our strawberry ice cream. We got a vanilla ice cream. We got our chocolate ice cream with our caramel. So this is a whole mess of strawberry. And if you can see here, let's see. You can see a little bit of blue right in there. That is to represent a little bit of the glass. So I'm going to just do some quick hit and miss. And because I took all my markers with me today, they're all in a big baggie, or most of them are, the ones that I don't. And we're just going to go ahead and grab a couple of little colors out and think we might do a pop of color. So I'm just going to grab a few markers. These look pretty good to me. And then for a fun pop, this is the color of our rainbow. Okay. So now I don't recommend you guys keeping your markers in a bag like this, especially during a live, because you can't find what you're looking for. But it was nice to be able to take them with me to the golf course today. So we're going to do some quick coloring. I want to do some of the coloring off camera because you didn't want to watch me color all afternoon, all evening. And I'm going to go ahead and we're going to color it in. I'm going to color the whole thing with this BV 4.5. I'm sure I'm having technical difficulties tonight because I am like zoned out from the sun today, and the noise and everything. YG 2.3, and it wasn't like super noisy, but there were times when it was noisy, mostly because the golfers like to, now, they play music when they golf, and we have a couple groups that would play multiple music at the different times, and it was a little overstimulation. So I was glad when it was time to come home. And then I'm just going to grab, and this is a completely different, oh, sorry, I got to get used to that, but it will work. I promise. When you color, just make it work. It's darker, but if I go back over the brightness of that green, with this darker color, it will blend in, and it works perfect. In my opinion, it works perfect. And then one last thing I'm going to do is we're going to just take this BV 4.5 one more time. We're just going to add a little bit of extra around the little, it's the same exact color we just did. We're just adding a little extra color, and it will kind of just blend in and give it a little bit of shading. So that's a nice thing to do if you don't have a lot of markers. Okay. So, and when you see it up close and in camera, it doesn't look as good, but when you see it in person, and it just kind of fades back. Okay. So there we go. We've got that. So this nice little pop of color, we're going to pop this up. And I think I'm going to stamp right on this. I don't stamp on pattern paper very often, but I'm going to this time. So let's go for it. Let's find our stamp set here. And I'm going to do Life is Better with Ice Cream, because in my opinion, ice cream is the jam. Fletch and I eat ice cream all the time. All the time. And I'm just going to put this in my panel, and we're just going to set it, and we're going to get a couple of magnets here to hold it in place. We're just going to stamp it right on our pattern paper with our Raven Detail ink. Now, my Raven Detail ink is a little bit on the dry side, so I may need to re-ink it, but I'm going to rub my fingers over it because I have not stamped with it yet, but uh-oh. I think I hear the helicopter coming to town. That's not a good sign. He was here earlier today, too. It flies right over my house. And then we're just going to stamp it down. Oh, what a fun font. So if you go sit outside in my backyard right now, you're going to hear, I think Barefoot Becky is performing up in the German Fest tent, which is about a block up because my town is very German. Hi, Cordelia. And it is polka music tonight. So, But it's kind of a nice tradition. We have wiener dog races tomorrow. I think there's a keg throwing contest. There's German food, German beer. One church service in town does a German service, and we have a German band that plays music, and they will be performing tomorrow, and they perform at the church service. So it's a lot of fun, a lot of craziness. I want to add a little bit of fun to this. So I'm going to go ahead and grab, this is the stencil of the month, and it is called Soft Serve. In the description, I linked I have 2 links in my description box on YouTube. One of them is to the inspiration box of the month subscription. The other one is to the pick 3. I just did the pick 3 because there's a pick 5, there's a pick 3. In case you decided you wanted to maybe get 3 of the subscriptions, whether it's the Stamp Club Plus, the inspiration box, embossing powder of the month, stencil of the month, paper pad of the month, because I didn't really do a bundle this week. And oops, didn't mean to do that. I'm going to grab a finger dauber tonight. We're not going to do any heat embossing or anything. We're just going to add a little bit of watermarking to this. And I'm just going to use a finger dauber, and we're just going to kind of quick. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just stress this off a little bit. I have found that I kind of am liking the finger dauber for embossing ink. If you have a really juicy embossing powder or embossing ink, you can actually just push the embossing pad right into your paper, like direct to paper. But this won't take too long. And our pattern paper goes right down the middle, so I really only have to do the top and the bottom. Helen, Georgia is German theme, and Helen, Georgia's German themed, and October is a big tourist month. Yeah, we've always had German. They've always had German Fest here in Iowa. Oops, and it moved. I didn't have it set with my magnets. I think because the weather turns, so that's why we always have it. And it's always about this weekend. Today the last full weekend. I don't remember if it is or not. It's always it's the second to last weekend, I think, in September. And that's just because we get the leaf lookers and things. It's fun. They're having an anniversary this year for the art classes, because for years the art class would get together and do a big chalk drawing that was like half of the street, because the streets are closed down, of course. And they are having a reunion this year, and they invited anyone who had done it in the past to come back and help an old art teacher. My daughter participated in that in school, but she lives too far away to help. So I may have to pop up and take pictures for her, though, of what it looks like. So it's like I said, it's fun. When my kids were really little, one year we had a storybook parade from the library, and my kids participated in that. And my son was Pirate Pete, and my daughter was Dorothy, and he won most original, or she won most original character, as in like genuine, and he won the best costume or something. He was so cute. He was wearing like my red peacoat jacket, and I like drew a beard on him, and he had a pirate hat and a fake hand, and he walked around going "Arrgh" all day. So of course he was cute, because he was like 4 years old, and he was wearing this woman's, wool peacoat. It was really cute. And so they came up to the tent and paraded through. And I know one year we had Boy Scouts, and we cooked cobbler over a fire in Dutch ovens for sale, and it's a lot of fun. And it's just a block and a half away from me. Like if I go up the end of my alley and that's German, it's right there. So All right, so that just added a little bit of texture to my background, which is all I really needed. I just wanted a little bit there, and just gives a little extra pattern. And then we're gonna go ahead and pop this up. I don't know if I have any foam tape pieces out. I have that little piece right there. Let's check. I might need to grab my foam tape. It's here, it's behind me here. So don't forget, we also have our, and I forgot to mention that the links in the description box below are affiliate links, which just means if you place an order using one of those links, it doesn't necessarily mean you need to buy that product, but if you use that link to open the store site and you place an order from clicking on that, I get a small little commission for that. That doesn't cost you anything extra, and I thank you for that. Last couple of weeks, I've had a few people been using my links, and I appreciate that much. Helps me buy product to make more projects for you guys, or replace products as I use them up. Okay, I was just adding foam tape. I know I was off camera there. I apologize for that, but just added some foam tape. So this is kind of a quicker card. We'll make one more using some of the other products and another one of the stamp sets. I have one that's 90% color, or is all the way colored. So one thing I think would be really fun, and I'm not going to do it tonight during my live, is I think it would be fun to grab some, like, what's it? The glass stuff. I can't even think of what the name of that is. Liquid glass type stuff, and put that over this very carefully and make it more shiny. But I'm going to kind of leave it like this. I'm not going to add any other like dimension or anything. I think it's just kind of a fun, easy card. I'll pull that up a little closer so you can see that stencil. So there is card number 1. Kind of quick and easy, mostly because I did, like I said, my coloring off screen. So I have this one colored as well. And I think of this as kind of being mint ice cream. My mint isn't perfect. Glossy accents. Thank you. Crystal effects works too. Glossy accents is what I was thinking. Pretty early. I have some somewhere, but we don't have time to watch me do that during a live. So I might do that after and let it dry so you can see tomorrow if I can find mine. But I got this one already and colored. And I loved the pop of the teal with a little bit of like I said, the mint. And I know sometimes your chocolate chip piece mints are bigger and stuff, but I thought that was just kind of fun. And what I thought maybe I would do is we're going to grab some of the washi sheets. And this is the summer sprinkles because it's got that green and colors on it. And we'll just make a quick card with that. So I'm going to open it up. Like I said, I like to cut the tops off mine so that I can just pop them back in. I have more than one. When I like a washi, I buy more than one, and then I stick them all in the same container. And I think for this one, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to use some of this pink, which I believe, was it bubblegum? I looked it up, but I don't remember the exact color. So I have the paper coming to me, but I have not. It's on its way. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this down again. I think this time I'm going to make a slimline or mini slimline card. So we're going to cut it at 3 1/4 by 8 1/2, because you know me, that's my favorite. And we are going to use this, and this is perfect. So we could do a slimline card this way, but then it's going to poke up. So we're going to do it this way. And I am going to find a piece of pattern paper to go with it too. So let's grab our paper pad. And I'm thinking I'm going to use one of these with the ice cream trucks. I think we're going to go with more of a pale one. Okay. Let's put those away before we get to. So we're going to have a couple of patterns here that kind of, they don't go, but this is We got a light pattern and a darker pattern. And there's white in here and there's white in here, so it works. So we can do that. And what I'm going to do is, because these aren't long enough to go the whole length, right? So I could use 2. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this polka dot one here. And what we're going to do is we're going to put it on here like this. Hopefully I did it straight. And I'm going to cut off a little bit. So this is a way to stretch your paper, stretch your washi. And then I'm going to grab my ruler here just to make sure I'm doing it right. T-roller here. And I'm going to hopefully not get my head in your way too much. We're going to go ahead and just pop it down because I want to, and I'm going to just put it over the edge just a little bit. Okay, we got to hold it tight. Hold it tight. Do it like that. It'll be very close. Hi, Susan. Oh, I am so sorry. Confined to your bed till surgery. Well, I'm hoping that is too, and hopefully it'll heal fast for you. Well, on a happy note, Susan, you can watch lots of crafty videos and get ready to go and be excited about that, or catch up on stuff you haven't. And TV channels, TV shows are coming back. You know, like NCIS is one of my favorites. NCIS Origins, you know, because it's fall sweeps week. So, I mean, we'll try to keep you entertained with videos, okay? And heal fast. So this one would work kind of just barely if you were to put it so you can see that would cover that up, but it's not perfect. So I am going to use a piece of this. Now I could do a circle, but I don't feel like getting my die cut machine out tonight because I just don't want to. And we're going to just go ahead and cut this down to 3 1/4. And I think I'm going to do, let's do 3 inches and see if we like that. Like I said, I'm very good about just kind of eyeballing things and see, oh yeah, look at that. That was perfect. If I'd done smaller, it would not have worked. And then look at my card. It's completely covered up. Now, one thing we can do to make it kind of work a little bit better is we can actually map this on some pink. So there's just a hair of pink showing. We could have also done this bigger pattern too, but I like the little pattern. And then, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put it down in the corner. You can't see that. I forgot. I got to remember that about my camera tonight. And we're just going to kind of go in and we're just going to put a little bit. We're just going to eyeball just the hint of a pink border. Because like I said, I think I might have cut this a little too big, but it will work. I'm going to go ahead and it was 3 1/4. That looked good to me. I'm kind of using my measurements, so you can't quite see my measurements. Since it was 3 1/4, this one was 3. I'm going to just go over to the 3 1/8, and that gives me close enough. Okay. And the reason I say that is because even though it's a little bit wider than my card, oh, we paused a minute. See, it's a little bit wider. When I get my card base out here, you're still going to have your white. So you're still going to have your white border. Now, some people might want to cut their top and bottom off so you have that white at the top and the bottom. When I make slimline cards, I don't do that. I like to have it flush at the top and bottom. I don't know why, I just do. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on my card base. Go up here, make sure I stay in the camera. I'm just going to eyeball side to side. Well, that's close enough. I'll put that down. My card base looks like it might be a little bit shorter than 8 1/2. So we'll just trim that off. So if your paper's ever a little longer, just trim it off. It will still fit in your envelope and nobody will ever know that it's not exactly A2 or 8.5, whatever it's supposed to be lengthwise. Just trim it off. Nobody knows. Nobody has to know. All right. And then I think for fun, I'm going to pop this up. So I just had my foam tape. Where did we go? So my honey had to have knee surgery quite a few years ago. And he says he wishes he could have had, the guy's like, well, you're under. Do you want us to do both? And he's like, I wish I could have. So, but I know he said he felt so much better afterwards. So we will fast healing. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and peel this off. And to me, when you're doing stuff like this and you have fun things like your ice cream in particular, we got fun patterns and colors, I feel like they just need to coordinate with each other. I hope that makes sense because we're making fun cards. So we're going to pop that up a little bit. And then, so there's a little bit of dimension. Now this is where you could decide you could pop this up too. And I think I'm gonna, because I think that's going to be fun. So I am going to put this here and I'm actually going to double this up. I'm going to take this off and I'm going to double it up because it's going to hang off up here a little bit. So I need to double up the top part a little bit. So I took that off too much of that. So we just need to double up about right. It just needs to be a little bit shorter. And that way, when I go to put my foam tape on, it will have as much as the rest, if that makes sense. I'll show you what that looks like. I am going to do this. I know last week somebody asked me about my plastic pouches that I store my stamps in. I did share those links to the products that I buy on Amazon in the fan club group yesterday. I could not remember everyone. There was a couple people that asked about them. So if you wanted to use them, I have that post up. All right, we're going to go ahead and I'm just going to, oh, here, I was going to show you what that looked like. So I doubled it. See how that is? So that when I go to put this down, it's going to have that extra so it stays. See how that, it's kind of hard to see, but if I had only one piece of foam tape, it was sunk down a little bit because this is foam tape too. So that's not super thick. I mean, I would probably try a chance on this through the mail. And then if somebody that got it and said, hey, I had to pay extra postage, I'd feel bad about it and send them some money. But a lot of times when I do that, I just bring it in and say, hey, I need postage, or I put a stamp on it and I give it to them over the counter. And a lot of times they'll kind of stick it through. All right, we need a sentiment. Now I am going to pull a sentiment, I think, from one of our other stamp sets. If I can find my bag that has them all in it. Just because I think, yeah, here. So if you have not seen the inspiration or this is the, not this one. This is the incentive stamp this month. It's called I Scream. It's added to your order for when you get $60 or more, while supplies last, and it's only available during the month of September. So if you would like this stamp set, you know, like I said, and you place an order of $60 or more, it will automatically be added. I'm going to go ahead and say I Scream, it's your birthday, just because I think it's fun. It's a fun little play on some Halloween, obviously, because it's got spooky sweets, boo, trick or treat. I think you could mask off this little face and just have an ice cream cone and maybe put a sprinkle on it instead of make it a jack-o'-lantern if you wanted to, but I think it's super fun. So I'm going to grab a piece of paper and my Misty, and we're going to use white paper. Put that off to the side. And we're just gonna stick it in, and I'm just gonna chop it up. It's a little piece. It's a little scrap. This is some Perfect Blend paper. That's my favorite paper for Copic coloring. So Does anyone have anything specific they'd like me to think about for next week? Because I'm sure from this release that I can use if you haven't seen or want to do. You're more than welcome to tag me, make a comment, let me know in the fan club group. I haven't thought that far ahead. I was super excited to get my stamps in the mail this week so that I could start crafting with them this weekend. Just go ahead and pop this off. I've seen some sample cards being made, and I was super excited to get mine because ice cream is one of my favorite foods. So I'm just lining it up, and I'm just using the white edge of my paper trimmer for the words, and that gives me kind of a clean cut all the way around. And then this one needs a little bling. We need a little bit of bling. Okay. And I think I'm going to put it down here in the bottom, and I am going to glue it flat if I can find some glue. See if my glue is plugged tonight because it's been a couple of days since I've used it. Might be. All right, we'll just use some paper, plastic, some tape runner on this little piece. All right. Ice cream, it's your birthday. And I am going to put it down here just because I can. Don't think about it. Oops, that's where my face was. Yeah, right down there. All right, we're going to add a little bling. And I think we're going to add some topaz. I don't know if I want to do topaz. What is this one? I'm going to go kind of crazy, and I'm going to use this blue shift. The blue shift. Because they're blue, but they're not. And since we have the teal, I think that's fun. So let's grab some color. I'm going to pull this down because I'm going to put the bling up here. And we're just going to put some dots in. Just random. You know me. 3, 4. We'll do one up here, 5. And then we'll do 2 way down here, 6 and 7. That works for me. I don't think too much about the bling when I put it down because I think it can be however you can overthink it. So it's one thing I used to always have issues with, like how to place. And I've gotten to the point where I'm like, you just start doing it and eventually you like what you do. It's kind of like, people don't necessarily like when they Copic color or alcohol marker color, I should say, now that we have more than one brand to color with, and or watercolor. Sometimes you have to just do it and then walk away. And then when you come back, you're like, yeah, I like that. I know some people like to they take I know there's at least one YouTuber, and I don't remember who it is. They kind of take it and just scatter it. These are stuck together. And then they're like, wherever it scatters is where they lay. But I figured it's just paper. Just paper, right? Okay, guys. We are going to call it a little quits early tonight. Like I said, it's been a day. I'm going to quick dab these up. So get that extra glue, and we'll review here a little bit. Oh, I pulled one of them off. I have to tell you guys, it's really funny. Oh, I don't know what happened to it. I'll have to get a new one out. This morning when I was at the golf meet, I looked down, and on my leg, I actually had a gem sticking to my leg, which was funny because I haven't been in my craft room. Okay, there you go. You're excited about my live tonight because you hadn't gotten your kit yet for the month, an incentive stamp. So yes, yeah, like I said, if you spend more than $60, it will be automatically added to your cart. And obviously it has to be a shippable product because I know sometimes people think if they can just do a gift card, but it has to be a shippable product for it to be automatically added to your cart. Okay, I should say that. So Well, definitely enjoy. If you haven't checked out, Susan, the new chromatic, is that how I say it, release with the paper. Oh, I can't wait to get more of the paper in, get paper in my hands. I am stalking my mailman. But I am really glad that you guys joined me this evening for a quick, fun, couple fast cards. Here are the two that we made tonight using the, let's see, Better with Ice Cream, which is part of the Inspiration Box kit. You can also buy it separately. I have to tell you, see, I've got this one started too. Look at how fun this one is. But I ran out of time today coloring, so that one has to color tomorrow. But I appreciate y'all joining me tonight. Give me a thumbs up if you like, subscribe. You can find me at Sugar Cards by Candi on my YouTube channel. I appreciate y'all tonight, and have a great rest of your night and evening. Okay, bye now.